Hello everyone, I am Surrender the Awesome, and I'm back, and I'm ready to look at some more r/IncelTear. But before I get started, make sure to like, comment, subscribe, and if I can't convince you, perhaps this picture of my production team working very hard will convince you. And, random fact about my cat society is that their military are armed with nothing but super soakers, water balloons, and water buckets, which I guess it would be a perfect time to declare war on them right now during the summer. Without further ado, let's get into this. So this first post here says, just a long bitter rant, and OP goes on to say, I can't believe he seriously typed this out and thought, yep, this is okay to post. And this person here says, their existence is surely a miserable one, from a man's point of view because they're inferior physically, mentally, and intellectually. But they don't care about these things. Those are exclusively male concerns and values. Voids only care about pleasure, comfort, fun, and hedonism. So while I'm sure they absolutely do realize their inferiority, it doesn't bother them that much. Remember being a little kid? Did you stress about your dad mogging you in intellect and you being inferior to him and him having authority over you? Maybe sometimes, but not that much. All you cared about was having fun and living your life as a kid. Spending time with your friends or whatever kids do. You didn't care about those higher things. This is how it is for voids their whole lives. They are children and they don't care about higher values like intellect, strength, creativity. They don't care that we mog them in it. This is why PP envy is mostly a cope in my opinion. Only hypermasculine high testosterone voids experience it. Yeah, you sound like you're very happy there, my guy. And I'm gonna probably give you like, I don't know, maybe probably a 45 out of 50. Yeah, guy, I don't really think you sound that happy in my opinion, personally. You kinda actually sound pretty miserable. Anyways, this next post here says, apparently moms are to blame for incels. And this person here says, mothers are the most selfish people in the world and the root of the incel problem. I absolutely detest mothers. You talk to your mother like that? Anyways, this person goes on to say, blue pill normies call incels entitled, yet every incel was forced into existence by a mother who was completely willing to subject a living being to up to 80 years of a torturous existence. Okay, before I go on, I do think that this guy probably might need some therapy that could probably help him a bit more. Anyways, this person goes on to say, because the child will be born with a fear of death. Well, that goes for everybody. Anyways, this person goes on to say, without asking for their input at all, just so they can feel good about themselves and have a child to ogle at. They think it's their privilege to give birth just because they have a womb. But that's like me saying I have a right to inflict pain on others because I have fists. You don't have a right to do crap if it involves another form of life separate from your own. And when you can't get their input, when you want to do something that directly affects them, you can't do it at all. Well, you gotta understand, it's kinda hard to get the input of a living being if, you know, they're not sentient. Anyways, this person goes on to say, yes, you can't know whether a child will want to be alive until they're alive. And probably a bit more conscience. Anyways, this person goes on to say, but you can't know whether a girl wants S if she's passed out. That doesn't mean you can go ahead. You can't at all. These same women... Why are you censoring women? Anyways, this person goes on to say, who say men aren't entitled to this, men aren't entitled to that, feel entitled to bring a baby boy into the world without even giving them the basic guarantee of a good life. The things she just said men aren't entitled to, solely so she can feel good about herself because she wants children, that to me is the absolute pinnacle of selfishness. And this person here goes on to say, this is why I support, not sure if I can say this word, but this person goes on to say, not because I don't think it's murder, it is by any definition of the word, but because the less pregnancies to unwilling male children, the better.
If I was a dictator, I would force every single mother to sign a legally binding contract to guarantee that their children will live a good life if they want to give birth to a male fetus, or be barred from reproduction otherwise. I dream of the time I get to put my selfish parents on trial. Neither of them should have reproduced, but they forced me into this hellish existence I didn't want to, just so they could feel like their own lives were complete.
Okay, I do feel like this guy might have also suffered abuse growing up, so that might be contributing to some mental health problems. Anyways, this person goes on to say,
"For all the women crying about incels, keep your effing legs closed then. There won't be any incels if you don't keep bringing them into the world."
Okay, I'm gonna probably give this person like a 45 out of 50. I feel like he is really suffering from some mental health issues, and I feel like he could probably use some therapy, but that's just personally what I think. And this next post here says, "Weird way to say that you've never talked to a woman outside of your mom." And this person here says,
"What are women good for? Strength, physically inferior to men. Height, physically inferior to men. Intelligence, inferior to men. Emotion, women are unable to feel love or empathy for anyone. After my recent self-offing attempt, my mother still made it about herself."
Well, okay, if I'm being perfectly honest, I think this guy might be suffering from mental issues because he didn't really grow up with a loving mother, or at least a mother who maybe wasn't a bit of a narcissist. Anyways, this person here goes on to say,
"What do they even do? They are only more successful in school and work because they do what they're told and have never had original thoughts. We should biologically engineer a new generation of Stacys with the love and empathy of men. The rest of womankind should be eradicated because they are nothing but leeches draining society."
Yeah, that's very empathetic. And I'm gonna probably give this person here, like, I don't know, probably a 45 out of 50. I feel like this guy might be suffering a lot from some mental issues, if I'm being perfectly honest. And I think with that, that's gonna do it for today. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one.